Friends, how was your past week? Ours, up and down, but great. We endured, accomplished something, and helped where we could. Now, before we start, you may want to pause, grab a pen, paper, as there might be of some ideas shared that you might want to jot down for future reflection. I'll pause a moment. Over the past few weeks, we've been asking a very simple question. What if? We've talked about how those two little words can either lead us toward worry or toward preparation. Well, today I'd like to share something that has quietly guided much of my life. For years, I used this process without ever realizing I was using it. It wasn't something I learned from a book. It wasn't something someone taught me. Life taught it to me one unexpected situation at a time. Whether it's a power outage, financial concern, a health challenge, or simply one of life's surprises, I've discovered that being prepared begins long before we gather supplies. It begins with how we think. I've found there are five simple steps. First, we recognize. We recognize what is happening, not what we fear might happen, not what someone else says could happen, what is happening right now. Until we recognize reality, we really can't respond wisely. Now, second, we pause. Now, pause doesn't mean doing nothing. It means giving ourselves a moment before our emotions begin making our decisions for us. Sometimes one deep breath is enough to change how we see the situation. Now, third, we ponder. That is, we gather information. We ask questions. What do I know? What don't I know? What options do I have? The better we understand what's happening, the better choices we can make. Now, fourth, we plan. The plan doesn't have to solve every problem. It only needs to identify the next thoughtful step. One step, then another, till finally we act. Now, nothing changes until we begin. The first step may seem small, but small steps create momentum. Momentum builds confidence, and confidence begins replacing uncertainty. Notice something? This process doesn't promise that life will always be easy. Storms will still come. Unexpected things will still happen. Life will still ask, what if? But now we have a way to answer. I've come to believe that preparedness isn't really about collecting things. Those things certainly have their place, but preparedness begins long before we gather supplies. It begins by becoming the kind of person who is ready, ready to think, ready to act, ready to help, ready to lead, ready for whatever life places before us. Because when we become ready, the storm will still blow, but it no longer has to control us. That's how we begin replacing worry with confidence. That's how we prepare, and perhaps that's how we learn to sleep when the wind blows. Until next time, be safe, be well, and be happy.